mistakes. I just have to do this often, to work on this often, make some exercise and so on. But I am lazy in this part. I assume that.
Great. And Giovanda, well, you
I
tell about one of them using Elsa, but you could tell me another one.
Yeah, here in Talk, I think is the most important part of my learning. And I think the improvement that Talk could do for us is so interesting. And here, nowadays, with a changement in Talk is really difficult to schedule a meeting because all the meeting is sold out. And
Oh yeah,
it's a little bit a not so good experience to schedule because
okay.
of this. I talked to Philippe, but Philippe is changing. He have many things in his mind, and but I think talk is the key for talking more and with a confidence and don't notice about our mistakes because they are so great big. I mistaking all the time. I don't know anything for about verbs and etc., grammar, etc. Is
That's
that?
nice. And you, Camila?
Um, Here in the
Camila, no, don't
platform,
need, né?
sorry?
You don't need, but if you wanted to learn,
No, no, I really need. I am here in the platform every day to practice. I decide to get
yeah,
one immersion a day, and I try to organize my whole week to be here. Sometimes more than one a day. And about the as we are talking here about grammar and these things, I was searching a great book, guys. If you want, I can put the name here.
great.
And it's like a book for the students. You don't need a teacher, and you can review all the grammar. It's a book in English, but helps the people to study by himself. So it's by themselves. So it's good. I was searching this book yesterday, so I guess this year I don't think it's only being in the immersion help us to be good in English. Of course, this helps a lot. Some kind of, as Yanka said, if you I was that person who look all the immersions on YouTube, and then after some period, I decided to give up this because I was like, oh my gosh, in the 5 minutes I made more than I don't know 10 mistakes, so I avoid to watch. But right now I am trying to mix my English
Yeah,
practicing skills and grammar at the same time to improve both, I guess.
yeah. Maybe it could be important. For example, if you have some problems, if you cause some problems, what's the video? What's mean? It causes some problems in your, I don't know, uh, your learning. So I believe that's better if you try to continue talking and don't watch the video. But I have a problem. I feel more comfortable when I have to talk, but when I have to listen to understand the other people talking English, is awful sometimes, a lot of times. On Talk is a little better for me. I'm not sure, maybe because of the level of the students. But when I have to, for example, watch a video, or in my job, when I have to talk with foreigners, so it's so hard to understand, particularly because uh, one part of this people is not a, how do you say, a native speaker. So sometimes people from Latin America, because when I uh, when I was working, uh, the company that I have to talk sometimes, uh, they used to the shift is more similar to my schedule. So in this case, for example, early morning, not pick up, but early morning, I take some people from India, and after that, parts of Europe, and around 10 or 11 o'clock, started to take people from Mexico and the another countries. And sometimes it's hard, but sometimes at the end of year for around 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. I I take some people from United States, but the most part of the time I talk to if I talk with Indians, so it's so hard to understand, so hard in my for me. I don't know if some one other people could do can more it's more easier for some people, but in my opinion, it's hard. It sounds like another kind of language. I don't know. It's not English for me, but that's it. Well, move on for the next one. Let me read an answer. Do you use any specific apps or resource for grammar practice? Which ones? I use it to pick up some artificial intelligence. For example, ChatGPT, Google Traducer, and another one. But I don't use any apps from learn English. For example, Duolingo is very famous, and another one. So it's so sometimes it's so frustrating because, for example, my daughter can learn English just listen music or I don't know what videos. And for example, my niece learn English when was watching how do you say football match, né? Not soccer, football, American football. So it's so frustrating for me because I'm studying so many times and I can't understand a lot of times, a lot of things. So, but I believe that when I wanted to check if the phrase is correct, I use ChatGPT, Google Traducer, and then others. That's it. And you, Camila?
Most of the time I use ChatGPT to help me because I can speak with them and try to practice my vocabulary and see my pronunciation correctly. I try to do Duolingo every day. Not I try, I do Duolingo every day. I know it's not the most effective, but I do it every day. What else? Let me see. For grammar, I don't think it's useful for me because I cannot spend too much time studying by my cell phone or using some app. I am an old school person, so I try to take notes and to do the exercise in writing things. So I don't think I can use an app for grammar, but I tried some. BBC Learning, I guess. I try, but I am trying to put this in my daily routine. Like if I am waiting someone at a doctor appointment, and then instead of just being at Instagram, I try to do some things in English, or maybe to be in touch with something in English. I think that's it about apps and grammar.
Great. Wanda, please.
For me, I never study grammar because it's so boring and I
Yeah,
pay attention and I can follow the rules. And then I'm like Camila, I do Duolingo every day because it's funny and
yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
And you
you are
practice,
studying grammar, no? If you use
yeah,
Duolingo.
but not with rules.
Yeah, it's
You,
not the traditional method, but that's
yeah,
learning grammar. So
but grammar like a feed, like a meal. You don't
Sure.
know about grammar. I never, I not be able to sit down and take a book and study verbs and another thing for grammar. Grammar or uh, get into myself by osmosis, or
Yeah.
I never know grammar because I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel energized to take a book, and it's that. And
Sure.
also too is my and here I talk, I speak many mistakes, and I listen you speaking correctly, and I, oh my gosh, I speaking noise by. Then I correct myself or
Yeah.
not, and I get another mistake.
I have the both grammars in my house. The English grammar in use, the I believe that's uh the advanced in the another one. I believe it's I'm not sure if you is regular or beginner. I don't know. I have the red one and the black one. I never use, but I have the both in my house. And do Yanka?
Yes, I was more class things, I have some English classes and it was easier to me, mainly when it was synchronous classes, sometimes presential, but now synchronous classes. But I stopped it and I did now in this exact moment the download of Duolingo because Wanda and Camila do it. So maybe it's a good tip, it's a good thing to start to do it.
Yeah,
And the British Council too, to study grammar, but I think that I will stay with Duolingo maybe, but I have to do this.
that's nice. Well, let's move on. Uh, how do you incorporating listening skills into your English learning routine? Wanda, could you tell me? Could you answer, please? Number
In
8.
my routine, I stay here and talking,
Yeah.
and in my routine, I don't use to have a necessity of English like Camila work in a place that she need talking English. But
Hmm.
I'm a dentist. Most of my patients are Brazilian
Sure.
people. Um, yeah, I used to stay here, and I used to watch movies and series in English with subtitles in English too. And I understand maybe 40%, maybe 50%, but I go
Sure.
ahead. And if I don't understand nothing, I put in Portuguese the subtitles, and is that for me is that.
That's nice. And you, Camila?
I try to listen some podcasts. I follow a lot,
I can't
and I
understand. I
yes,
have someone, but I can't understand. I tried.
uh, yes, maybe when I am at morning when I am working, I try to put some YouTube channels from USA just to listen about the news there. I can follow this, but I know it's not so effective because I am working at the same time. But I think I can practice my listen because we need to do these two things in Portuguese. Why cannot do this in English? So I try, and I used to listen some podcasts when I go for a walk. Try to put this. Let me see what else. Here in the platform, it's a good way to practice
Sure.
listen because you need to understand the other. But I think it's easier here because we are talking with Brazilian people and it's totally
Yeah.
different, the accent. But I guess for me it's a podcast because you don't have the video for someone speaking, and then it's
Sure.
totally listen. You need to
Yeah,
understand
yeah,
the words and everything. You don't have another context to get to
sure.
hold. So for me, I believe listening. I was without listen since December, without listen some podcast, and when I come back, I suffer a lot because this makes the difference for me.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, it's part of communication is not speaking, is expressions and another.
Yeah.
Sometimes you was watching a video and the people was laughing and you laughed too. So that's uh, sound like a no verbal communication. So
Yeah.
and there are a lot of studies about it. That there is a person called Lack Paul Ockman. I forgot the name. Paul Wackman. And there are some series about this technique is Lie to Me and the another one I forgot the name. So the micro expressions also the people could you tell them about certain circumstances and you could tell something but your face is telling another thing. That's nice. Well, regarding listen skills, sometimes I participate in immersions. Lately, I'm became a little lazy and a little not so motivated, a little frustrated some things. But the most part of the time, I participate in 8 to 10 immersions by weekend, and I notice my I don't know, but I feel more comfortable, more confident when I have to talk, but I face difficult to understand. But sometimes is hard, but the only way to reach this goal is continue fighting, as the Bobby used to say on the song, get up and continue fighting. That's it. That's it. Well, um, you answer the next one? What role do you think read plays in improving your English skills? Yeah. Uh, Sometimes it's necessary you have some kind of base or some kind of uh, structures in your head. And I wanted to talk. I want to listen. That's nice. It's very, very important. Sound like a kid. But I'm not sure. But when you were an adult, when you are an adult, actually, it's necessary you have some kind of structure because a kid is a different perspective, because everyone know, oh, is a kid. So in this case, the people don't have the same feeling. Oh, if you listen a kid tell the wrong way, it's more tolerant. The people used to say more tolerant. But when you are an adult, it's necessary you have some kind of knowledge. So in this case, I believe that's important too. Maybe is you could use another techniques just to listen and the speaking certainly is important too, and the way of the method, the important method to learn it too. In Julianka,
Um, let's see. Answering this both one, talking first about the question number 7 yet. I try to merge, not try to merge, I try to use things that I really love. I really love discuss politics, for example, and I really love stand-up too. So I try to follow some podcasts too, again, about politics, another one about comedy and so on. During my lunchtime, I every day watch The Daily Show, that it's a comedian program. And I really love because they bring to us the news and at the same time comedy. So it's funny, but it's a different way to pass the news to us, about United States and world and so on. And podcasts, I really love the Today Explain. They follow the same path. They try to bring to you the news in a funny way, and they are very scientific and so on. So it's very nice to hear. And reading to me, it's important because I feel that in English, we have four abilities. I think you know that: the speaking, writing, listening, and I think there actually are three abilities: listening, writing, and speaking.
Speaking.
Yeah, I think there are these three. And in here in Talking Talk, we most part of the time exercise just the speaking and sometimes the writing and listening too. But reading to me helped me because sometimes I feel that I know how to speak that word, but I don't know how to write that word. And to me, this is absurd. How do you know how to, like, I know how to speak beautiful, but I'm sure that I don't know how to
Yeah,
write beautiful in a right way. So it's
sure.
very difficult and nonsense sometimes too, because how do you know how to speak and don't know how to write this thing? So I think that reading is very important because of this, and help us to write too, because if you want to, thank you, because if you want to write, the reading will help you to fix the vocab and the right way to write that word in your head. So it's very important.
I believe the person could decide or if you want or not to improve your vocabulary or grammar. I believe that's, in my opinion, the first of all and the first steps is necessary to, how do you say, pass and receive the message. If you want, if you if you understand and can have the ability to pass the message, that's okay. Doesn't matter if right or wrong, not right or wrong, but is the people could understand, but notice that's the wrong, the mistakes actually. So, and after some while, you could improve your grammar, your vocabulary. So, but first of all, I believe this better, in my opinion, actually, focus on the try to understand and receive the message. So, but each person could think different way. Sound like a, a child, because I don't know the people, the kids uh, are around 6 years and don't write anything but understand. You could communicate and I don't know, as he told in the past, and they receive the message. But if you wanted to change the question for another one, because I don't know, the question is a little similar. If you wanted to choose and answer the question number 11, or if you could you pick up anyone, Camila, how do you how do you stay motivated? I believe that's a very, very, in my opinion, a very, very important. Because when you
Yes.
are motivated, the things occurs easier. I don't know. So it's not exactly a heavy. It sounds like oh, it's the people don't notice, and suddenly is learning English or another thing. Could you use the same situation for different stuff? How do you stay motivated and you learn English, especially during difficult times?
I guess.
every day. Difficult
Yeah,
times, could you listen every day?
yeah, it's the same, right? I guess when you achieve, I can say a intermediate level. We are, I guess, in an intermediate level. I guess we don't want to
I don't
lose.
agree.
No, we are.
Your English is wonderful,
No, I
Camila. Go
am
ahead.
suffering a lot. I am suffering, guys.
Yeah,
And I try to be here every day just because I don't want to lose what I learned until now. So this is my main goal. When you try, I start to study English as adult. I think I already told this at the platform. And I had some opportunity to travel abroad. And when I come back from these trips, I was like, oh, I don't need to study. That's okay. My English is I average mid level, so I don't need to study more. And nowadays I have a different perspective. I would like to improve for sure. And I like to speak in Portuguese well, not very well, but well. And I guess I would like to do the same in English. I don't want to say nós vai in English. I know this is common, but
yeah,
I would like, because I work with this and I know we can say this in conversation, a random conversation, but sometimes in a meeting it's different. So I guess if you know the hard things, you can say the wrong things. So I guess we need to improve no matter how difficult it is, but we need to try to improve. And here the topic sometimes make us struggle to answer some questions. So I guess this it's a good way to improve no matter the difficult time, because you if you don't do this today, tomorrow will be the worst, I guess, because you can lose, you can forget the word. So this is I believe this is my main goal when I
mhm,
try to be here every day, because I don't want to lose.
yeah. I was thinking about Wanda. Wanda is a wonderful person because Wanda choose learn English. Uh, for example, in my job is necessary, so I have to learn. I try to keep on track. And the Wanda choose. That's wonderful, in my opinion, because it's part of another level, in my opinion. Uh, so, please, Wanda, could you answer? I'd love to know regarding your reasons.
Yeah, I start to learn English because of the pandemic time.
Oh yeah.
When pandemic time arrived and I get stuck here in my house
Hmm.
by myself, and I get a little bit anxious and panicky. And what I think, I thought, can I do with sometimes that I have, because I work a lot and I have a little time to do many things. And then I start to learn. I receive invited to Muncher's English. It's like talking, and I start that. And then my son lives in New York.
Oh
He
yeah.
works by I don't know if he's by Snapchat. He's an engineer,
Oh
and
yeah.
for this reason, I want to talk with his friend, and maybe he get a girlfriend and a wife, I don't know. And it's necessary. It's not urgent, but it's necessary.
Yeah.
And I like I like English nowadays, and it's that.
Yeah. The doctors and some researchers tell about the when you learn or try to learn another language is helpful for your health, mental health, and the I believe that's avoid some problems, and that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And Julianka, please, could you answer? I'm sorry, just
Yes.
let me interrupt the transmission for YouTube. Bye bye, YouTube.